Hi guys, so the Chancellor Rachel Reeves and the Prime Minister Keir Starmer are listening, or at least seem to be. So they have decided to issue a number of U-turns, one being the two-child benefit cap, at least it seems to be on the surface. So they had been talking for a long time about dealing with child poverty, and they had said that the two-child benefit cap was not the way to go in the sense of removing it. But now they seem to have had a change of heart. Have a listen.
Child poverty should not be tolerated. No child in this country should grow up in poverty, and that's why we've already started to take action on free school meals, on breakfast clubs, on extending the warm homes discount to more families, including more families with children. And we'll take further measures in the budget, but no one should be in any doubt about my commitment, about Keir Starmer's commitment to ending the scourge of child poverty.
Well, clearly that would be good news to those who want to see it scrapped. But what do you then say to our listeners? I mean, Resolution Foundation says scrapping the two-child benefit cap would cost £3.5 billion. It would lift 470,000 children out of poverty. But that does mean some people listening to this are going to be paying more tax in order for other people to have more benefits for their children. How do you explain it to that if people are facing the prospect of higher taxes?
Well, I was listening to the radio. I was getting ready for work this morning, and there was a story around the number of people who are homeless in Britain today. Now, many of those will include families. They might not be living on the streets, but they might be living in temporary B&B accommodation, or they might be kipping on someone's floor in someone's living room. Now, obviously, they have real human costs, but it also has an economic cost as well, because the cost of temporary accommodation is skyrocketed and continues to increase. The costs of the lost educational attainment as kids move school constantly to move to new accommodation, the costs on people's health, both physical and mental, from poor quality accommodation, from a lack of good nutrition. You know, the social costs and the personal costs are most important, but I don't think we can lose sight as well of the costs to our economy in allowing child poverty to go unchecked. And in the end, a child should not be penalised because their parents don't have very much money. Now, you know, in many cases, you might have a mum and a dad who were both in work, but perhaps one of them has developed a chronic illness. Perhaps one of them has passed away. There are plenty of reasons why people make decisions to have 3-4 children, but then find themselves in difficult times. You'll also have things like adoption or foster caring. Lots and lots of different reasons why families change shape and size over time. And I don't think that it's right that a child is penalised because they are in a bigger family through no fault of their own. And so we will take action on child poverty. The last Labour government proudly reduced child poverty, and we will reduce child poverty as well.
Brilliant. This is a brilliant response. This is the response she should have given over a year ago. As opposed to talking about, well, the welfare budget, the welfare bill is too high, we need to bring it down, we need to get people into work, we need to make work pay, all of this rhetoric about work when we're talking about child poverty. So this is a very good response. Where has this Rachel Reeves been hiding? Honestly, she's talking absolute sense here. If you want to deal with poverty, you need to increase taxes, or you need to borrow, or you need to find some way of spending money to lift people out of poverty. And as she has said here, if you do lift people out of poverty, you alleviate other costs to the economy, both social costs and economic ones. So that's what you should be doing. Investing in people, investing in children, making sure that they don't fall into poverty, first of all. And of course, lifting them out of poverty if they have already fallen in. Has to be a priority, one of the priorities of the government. I keep saying, what's the point in having a government if it doesn't look after the most vulnerable in society? And hungry children, I can't think of a better example. So what they're doing here, they have to roll back on this policy of maintaining the two-child benefit cap. Get rid of it. It should have been done ages ago. I don't know why she's had a change of heart now. The economic situation has not improved, so it can't be an economic argument. It has to be a moral one, and she presented the moral one here, which is the correct argument to make. The government can find money, they can print money, they can borrow. It's not like a household. So they should prioritise lifting children out of poverty, stopping children from falling into poverty in the first place, so that these problems don't manifest in other ways or don't fester over the generations to come. So it makes perfect both economic and moral sense to lift people out of poverty and stop them from falling into it in the first place. So kudos to Rachel Reeves here. This is the correct response. Now, of course, the Conservatives and Reform are going to attack her, saying, oh, you're increasing taxes for lazy people. You're increasing taxes on those who are working to help those who are work shy. And we know that that's not the reality of the situation. But unfortunately, it will be spun by politicians in this way. And Farage and the Tories will come out and say, we will cut your taxes. We will force people who are on benefits or whatever into work. We don't give a damn about hungry children. They shouldn't be they shouldn't exist in the first place. That will be the response. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.